Hi students, welcome to session 9 of Habitat of the Living. In today's session we are going to study something very interesting about adaptations. In the previous session we studied about adaptations for one type of forests, and that was tropical forests, popularly called as rainforests. And in today's session we will continue this lesson and we will learn about adaptations for temperate forests, which is a type of forest. Right? So we will see that which animals, what type of animals and plants are found in the temperate forests, which are also popularly called as deciduous forests. So let us start with today's session. Yes, adaptations for temperate forests, or they are famously or popularly called as deciduous forests. Right? So the animals which are found in temperate deciduous forests, temperate or deciduous forests, also have to adapt to the changing seasons. Like we saw in adaptations for temperate forests, there is a huge variety of animals which are found in rainforests, and therefore the competition for food is very high. But comparatively, in temperate or deciduous forests, animals have to adapt to the changing seasons. They must be able to cope with cold winters when food is in short supply. Like migration and hibernation and estivation are the adaptations by the animals which are found in this type of biome, which are found in these type of habitats, that is in temperate forests. So many animals hibernate or migrate to warmer regions during winter, and a great variety of birds also migrate to warmer places where they can find food more easily. There are some mammals too which hibernate during the cold winter months, and animals like squirrels and chipmunks also gather food during summer and store it for eating during winter when food is hard to find. So here are some examples of birds and animals. This is the beautiful image of chipmunk. This is the beautiful image of jaybird, which is also called as blue jay. So squirrels, chipmunks and some jays, blue jays, often store large supplies of food such as nuts and seeds in the ground under fallen leaves or in tree hollows for use during the cold winters when food is scarce. So here the cold temperatures help them to prevent the decomposition of the nuts and seeds. And so these type of animals and birds, we can see these type of animals and birds in temperate forests. So to prevent damage, or we can say that to prevent the decomposition, not to prevent damage, but to prevent the decomposition of nuts and seeds, there are cold temperatures in temperate forests, and squirrels, chipmunks and jays are such species which are found here. Even hibernation, because of migration and hibernation, which are the adaptations of such animals which adapt themselves in such for surviving in these kind of forests. So hibernation is actually an inactive sleep-like state that some animals enter during the winter. Animals that hibernate protect themselves against the cold and they reduce their need for food. So a hibernating animal's body temperature is lower than normal, and its heartbeat and breathing slows down greatly. An animal in this state needs little energy to stay alive and can live off fat stored in its body. Thus, hibernating animals can more easily survive cold winter months. So these type of animals can survive the cold winter months. There are plants too which are found in temperate forests. So let us see what type of plants can be found here. Do we found here? Deciduous trees are the trees that shed off their leaves once a year at the approach of a cold or a dry season, and later on they grow new leaves. Right? So this is one such beautiful image of deciduous trees. This is the picture of the spring season or the summer season when they have, where we can see that they have grown new leaves. So these are the deciduous trees that shed their leaves, and that is why they are named as deciduous. So most trees are deciduous in temperate forest. That is why they are named as deciduous forests. So the trees over here, which are found over here, are named as deciduous trees. They have thin, broad leaves that allow them to easily capture sunlight, which is required for making food. Like this is the image of maple leaves. So maple leaves or the maple tree is an example of deciduous tree. They are found in temperate forests. So basically in summer their broad green orange leaves help capture sunlight needed to make food through photosynthesis. And there are other plants also. Basically, broad leaves of maple tree are not able to bear the freezing winter and they can get damaged easily. So to prevent this damage, trees shed their leaves during winter. Like here you can see the beautiful image of deciduous forests. And other trees other than maple tree which shed their leaves in deciduous forests, there are other plants too which are found in deciduous forests. Like this is the beautiful image of ash tree. This is the beautiful image of beech tree. And both these images are of birch tree. Both are the different images of birch tree. See, here you can see a more clear view, a closer view of birch tree, and here you can see birch tree, whole birch tree in line, which are arranged horizontally. Right, so basically these deciduous trees are trees that shed off their leaves once a year, and means that plants that keep their foliage, their leaves throughout the year are called evergreens. So these are not the evergreens, because they shed their leaves. So deciduous trees usually have broad leaves like ash tree, beech tree, birch tree, or maple and oak tree. So what happens that in summer their broad green leaves help capture sunlight, but as the temperatures drop, the tree cuts off the supply of water to the leaves and seals off the area between the leaf stem and the tree trunk. So with limited sunlight and water, the leaves are unable to continue producing chlorophyll, which is the green pigment in leaves, causing them to change into the beautiful red, yellow and orange leaf colors during autumn season, during fall. So what happens that in winter, it is too cold for the trees to protect their leaves from freezing. So they simply lose them and seal up the places where the leaves attach to the branch. So losing their leaves helps the trees to conserve water loss through the process called transpiration. Always remember this term, transpiration. So what happens that losing their leaves help trees to conserve water loss through transpiration, where dried leaves continue to hang on to the branches of some deciduous trees until the new leaves come out or grow. So before the leaves die, some of the food material they contain is drawn back into the twigs and branches, where it is stored and used the following spring. So the warmer temperatures of spring, here this is image of the trees which are taken in its spring season, the warmer temperatures of spring signal to the trees that they can grow new leaves again and they can restart the cycle. And this way the cycle goes on in winter season and summer season. So this is what we see, or this is what we found in the temperate forests or the deciduous forests.